Greetings, 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 greetings. What it is, what it is, what it is. I hope y'all could hear me this time around because they wasn't trying to let me get on at all. Well, I'm not, I don't want to get into any conspiracy theories, but for some reason I just couldn't get on. No matter, I'm gonna wait for you guys to get into this build, and we're gonna do this anyway. All right, we're gonna make this thing happen. You feel me? We're gonna make this thing happen. Now, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Halito, can you hear me? Osio, Mabriqua, Shalom, Islam, Sakpase, Aho, Mabriqua, what the deal is. Wagwan. All right, cool, cool, cool. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. First off, let me give thanks to the Great Spirit, giving thanks to our ancestors, each and every one of them who came before us. You know what I mean? Because we are all connected. They are them. People think that our ancestors are just them and then we are us. Now we all connected, man. Oh, hold up. I really thought I was multi-screening. What's going on here, man? Hold up, family. Hold up. I definitely have to let me, because I know, how come my Facebook you're live? Okay, my Facebook people supposed to be on right now, but I'm not seeing anybody from Facebook. Hold on for a second. Let me make sure I'm on Facebook as well. Cause this was supposed to be definitely on Facebook and YouTube. All right, cool. All right, so we're on Facebook and YouTube right now. All right, so we just gonna get right to the point. Yeah, man, they're trying hard to prevent me from dropping these jewels, man, but they can't stop it. They can't stop it. You know what I mean? It's over time. I mean, nobody could stop that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna get right into this. No time to waste because we got a lot of work to do. But with that being said, wanna get right into it, right? So I just put a post on Facebook, okay? And let me just reiterate and make it clear for the record, right? My purpose for sharing information is not to compete with anyone, all right? I'm not in any competition. Please, 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 my brothers and sisters and people of the world, don't let that idea, overwhelm you because that's not what I'm about, all right? I'm not here to prove that I'm the most, knowledgeable or, nah, man, this is not a competition. I want us to stop competing against each other. All right. All I'm doing is just sharing information. And I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm not asking you to disagree with me. All I'm doing is just sharing the information and you do what you want with it. If it resonates with you, man, by all means, flow with it, but do your own research. I'm just sharing information because that's my purpose. That's my passion. That's what the ancestors got me doing right now. You feel me? So I just want y'all to know that because a lot of people come on my Facebook post and they always come with this energy of competing or challenging or I know more than you or you know less. Man, I don't care about who know more and who know less. My main focus is whether you know more or I know less or I know more or you know less is what are we doing as a collective? What are we doing with all the knowledge that we have? All right. Whether we are trying to show off on each other or just sharing for sharing purposes. What are we doing with the information to make our lives better? That's my main focus. My focus is about the action. You feel me? So I share things because sharing is caring. A lot of people are seeking information and they don't know where to find the information. They don't know how to access the information. And even more so, when they access the information, they don't know how to apply the information into their daily lives. So apart from me sharing and teaching and reaching, I think, again, that's just me, I think that my purpose is also to assist my brothers and sisters with the application. Because a lot of this stuff is new to a lot of people. And sometimes we just overload them with information and they don't know what to do with it. So I like to break it down into the simplest terms so even a baby could comprehend. Because it's really about our children that has to take that information and take it into their generations to come. In other words, we have to set the precedence and we have to set the platform for our posterity, everyone who come before us. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say one of the few, but I definitely am for honoring and respecting and praying to our ancestors, praising our ancestors. I'm totally for that. But I don't want us to get caught up too much in the past. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I'm not saying that we have to forget our ancestors. No, because as you could hear, every time I get into a build, I always thank the ancestors. But I think, and that's just my opinion, you don't have to agree with me, but I think too many of us are focused too much on the past and not realizing that the past, the future, and the present is all happening simultaneously. But because we are living in a slowed down realm, we are living in a third dimensional realm, we are living in a realm where the time machine was created. We are not aware that we are living our past and our future. We are living it right now. We are not aware of that. So we spend so much time focusing on what we used to be, opposed to what we need to be. Because what we need to be essentially will become what we are going to be, and what we are going to be will essentially become what we used to be. I hope that makes sense. Because everybody is fighting about, well, this and we are not this and we are, come on, man. My question again is, how does that prevent you from losing your children to a system that's kidnapping and trafficking our children? My question to you is, how is that going to assist you when they come take our ancestral land that's been aired in your family for generations to generations? How is that going to prevent them from taking your land unlawfully? Now, they may do it legally, but it could be unlawful. So anytime you have your land that belongs to your family or belonged to your family and it was taken because of, well, you're not paying taxes, that's theft. Because this is our ancestral land. The Great Spirit didn't tax us for that land. So therefore, no one that come into our land as foreigners or occupiers, they have no lawful right to tax us on our land. So all that stuff they're doing is unlawful. It's called theft. You're charging me for what's mine. And that's our natural, unalienable right. And there are Supreme Court laws that states that they cannot take a right and charge for it and turn it into a privilege and charge for it. They're not supposed to do that. So when we spend so much time with the division amongst ourselves, my question is, how is it preventing a mother from losing her children to CPS or AP or whatever you call those child care services? We are missing, a lot of us are missing the big picture. I am not here to put down anybody's beliefs or their religion. Regardless of what religion you subscribe to, it doesn't negate the fact that you are indigenous to this land. So I don't care if you're a Muslim, I don't care if you practice Judaism, I don't care if you practice, Christianity, Catholicism. I don't care. That is your personal belief. Because the truth of the matter is, all these systems, they all came from the source. They are all interpretations of or perceptions of what people conceive or perceive the spiritual realm to be. That's all it is. And people have different names. Different cultures have different names. Different cultures have different practices. So I'm not here to dog your religion or your belief. For me personally, I don't subscribe to religion because I know what it's about, especially in today's religion. It's a business. And pastors are not interested in spiritual salvation. They're not interested in spiritual salvation, and they're definitely not interested in physical salvation. They are about their pockets. That's what it's about. And for those who cannot see that, that's on them. I'm not going to beat that into you. I'm not going to force it into you. If you don't know that in your own Bible it tells you that you are God, and your pastors refuse to show you that part of the Bible, then to me it becomes a problem. Your pastor is looking for sheep, and he has to be the shepherd. But if that's the paradigm that you're caught up in, then it means that it's not your time just yet. But I'm focused on what we as a people, and when I say we as a people, I'm talking about the so-called African Americans and the so-called blacks in this part of the world that we call the Americas. For some reason, we seem to be the ones that's getting the worst end of the stick. In every circumstance, we seem to be coming up with the worst scenarios. And we have to change that. We have to change the paradigm of our own reality on our land. How do we do that? We do that by not necessarily forgetting, but not focusing too much on our differences when it comes to our ideologies, when it comes to the labels, because you see, that's what separates us. Every time I put a post, I don't want somebody coming toward telling me we all Israelites, because you see, not all of us subscribe to that. Don't tell me that we all came from Abraham, because my ancestors predated Abraham. My ancestors predated Adam, and Adam is also synonymous with atom. But what you need to realize is whether you look at Adam as a real man or atom from a scientific perspective, just know that we created atom because we are the gods. We are the creators. So it doesn't matter how you slice it and how you dice it, it all goes back to self. So why are we spending so much time on the highways and byways when we could go straight to the destination, which is self? It starts with self. You feel me? It starts with self. So when you come and make the statement that we all Israelites, that's incorrect. Even if we are all of everything, but it's still incorrect because a lot of people don't subscribe to that. When you say we all came from Abraham, that is incorrect because a lot of us here on the American continent, our ancestors predated Abraham. We are not descendants of Adam and Eve. We came before them. So are we going to continue to debate on what our differences are, especially with something that you cannot prove? How can you prove we all came from Abraham when that came from a book that was written by man? How can you solidify that information? When I put a post, I don't want everybody to go, oh, well, we are Moors. No, we are not. Although we are related, we cannot put everybody in that box. So until we can't come to a point in our existence where we say, okay, you know what? All these labels are dividing us. How can we come together? Now, we could say, okay, you know what? Calling ourselves original Americans. Well, you know, America came from Vespucci, blah, 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 blah. Even if that's not true, but some people have an issue with that, granted. But we do know that our ancestors agreed. It seems so. There was a status quo where we agreed that we could call the Americas Turtle Island. So can we at least agree on that? That we are all from Turtle Island. We are the original people from Turtle Island. Can we at least agree on that and move on? Why are we spending so much time focusing on our differences? Why is that? When every other ethnic group is in the race and they are winning because they are not focusing on their differences. You see, they know they have differences, but they're looking at the bigger picture. They're looking at it from what? An economical perspective. You see, too many of you think the race is about the complexion of your skin. No. The race is literally about who is going to finish first. That's the race that you are in. But you can't seem to see that because you're focused on color. So solutions are what? Solutions are coming together as a people. Okay, as a people, not as all Hebrews, not as all Israelites, not as all Moors, not as all American Indians, because it seems that all these people that are claiming all these different labels, they all claim to be original from Turtle Island. But all the labels that's being forced, it will create division. I'm telling you, it will. I see it coming already. So why can't we just forget the labels? Stop forcing these labels on everybody. Because not all of us subscribe to your idea of what our ancestors called ourselves. Because our ancestors didn't call ourselves none of those things we are calling ourselves. Because we are a clan, aka a tribal people. And everybody had their own families. And I guarantee you, families didn't go around talking about, hey, I'm an American Indian. Hey, I'm a Moor. Hey, I'm an Israelite. I guarantee you that wasn't the case. People just existed. Even when it came to a point where people had family names, they were identified by their family names. And eventually, because of families becoming communities, then we started having what we call clans. And from clans, we started having bands. And from bands, we started having nations. Because now invaders was coming in and people needed to come together. So families was getting attacked and families was like, you know what, man, nah. We got to come together and create clans. So families would come together and create clans. Then the enemy came harder. The clans said, nah, man, we got to create these bands. So bands started forming together. And then the bands became nations. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of these bands and nations and clans, a lot of them spoke different dialects. I mean, if we were to look at the Caribs, for instance, and the Arawaks, okay? The Caribs, which are the Kalinagos, they spoke different dialects. Even the men and women spoke different languages, just in case if something were to happen the women wouldn't be able to tell certain things, or the men wouldn't be able to tell certain things to the enemies. That's how sophisticated we were. Okay? Even husbands and wives spoke different languages, and they all had a common language. So how are you going to tell me we all call each other one thing? Stop. Stop with the propaganda and the lies, man. It gets tiring, and it gets frustrating because you are confusing people. You feel me? So whoever came from the other side and mixed with our people, don't come make a generalization and tell us we are you. No, we are us with a little bit of you, because we have been here. It doesn't matter who came here. When you came, you met people here, and they didn't call themselves none of these things. And no, Hebrew is not the original language of the Americas. We all had different dialects. Stop with the propaganda and the lies. That's what's causing the division, because it doesn't resonate with our spirit, especially with the people that know that our ancestors didn't call ourselves that. So if you don't tell me you're looking for unity, but you want to put me in a box, no. You still have that colonized mentality. So it's either we're going to come to an understanding that we all came from different clans and different families, and now we have to look for something that's going to unite us. What? Turtle Island. We all could agree with that for the most part. So whether you call yourself a Christian, a Muslim, a Baptist, a Seventh-day, a Moor, an Israelite, a 5%, I don't care what it is. If you claim to be one of the original people of this land, then I think, and that's just my opinion, I think that we have to get away from all these individual labels that's separating us. Because when you bring it to me, it doesn't resonate with my spirit, and I'm going to push back. And now it's going to create tension. And the sole purpose, I'm assuming that you send me a request for to build and network, all of a sudden we forgot about that because you're so busy trying to force your ideas of who I am on me. I don't see Italians fighting to be Germans. I don't see Germans fighting to be the Scottish. I don't see the Scottish fighting to be the British. But yet still, they all identify under one thing, which is white, which we're not going to get into the semantics of that either. But you know what I'm talking about. So they all come together and they're able to build themselves. But when it comes to us, we came from the same soil, but we still want to differentiate ourselves because some people got caught up in an idea that they think that's who we are. Or they got caught up in a movement that was brought into our land from enslavers and colonizers and invaders. And a lot of you know the truth, but you don't want to tell it. So at some point, somebody got to call out for the BS to stop. I'm doing it. We got too much work to do. It's 2020, and we're still buying food from immigrants. Okay? It's 2020 and we're still begging immigrants for jobs in our home. It's 2020 and we're begging immigrants for health care. It's 2020 and we're paying tolls to travel our own land. Let's focus on what really matters. It's 2020, our children are still being taken from our homes, put into adoption agencies, abused, raped, sodomized. So what's our breaking point? Haven't we endured enough persecution? Are you still asking the universe to give us more? Because, oh, well, we are gods. We could take it. Keep punishing us some more. Nah, man. I am tired of being punished. I don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. We deserve better. We gave the world our best. Why are we giving ourselves the worst of us? We have all these different businesses in our neighborhoods. We complain, oh, well, the Chinese got all the businesses. Oh, well, the Arabs got all the businesses. Oh, the Korean got all the businesses. Well, let me ask you a question, my brothers and sisters. When was the last time somebody put a gun to your head and asked you to go to the beauty salon and do your nails by the Chinese? When was the last time somebody put a gun to your head and had you go to the corner store that the Arab owned? You did that on your own free will. So don't complain they got all the businesses. Oh, well, the Jews own everything. Well, so let's stop supporting the Jews then. I mean, if we have the answers, but we refuse to use the answers, then whose fault is it? Why are we blaming people for the conditions that we're in? Now, I know it's tough love, and some people may say, Chief, you're going too hard. Man, listen, I don't know any different. I don't know any better, but give you the tough love and give it to you hard. I don't know anything else. Because if every day we get up and we look ourselves in the mirror and we cannot realize that we are the only ones that could change our reality based on our current, our present actions, then we will never get anywhere. Children complain. Okay? And my page is rated R. It's for grown-ups. I need grown-ups on my page and on my platforms. I want to deal with grown people, not children who just want to sit around and complain. Not people who want to sit around and challenge who know more or who know less. What is it doing for us? Like sometimes, man, you know, you just got to fall back. You just got to fall back and ask yourself questions, man. Ask yourself questions. A lot of you don't talk to yourselves because you are too busy distracted. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. And I guarantee you, you will start answering yourself because all the answers are within you. You don't have to look outside yourself to see and know that something is wrong, family. Something is emphatically wrong. And I know I'm not the only one seeing it. But too many of you are distracted. Too many of you have so much animosity and hate against your own. We always think somebody have an agenda. Don't get me wrong. Some people may not. I'm not here to judge. But at some point, we got to say, man, listen, it cannot get any worse. We got to start trusting each other at some point. At some point, we got to say, man, listen, you know what? I don't think it's going to get any worse. We're going to have to take a leap of faith. And I'm not talking about the kind of faith that religion speak of. I'm talking about the kind of faith that you have within you, knowing that when you take a step, knowing that when you jump in the water, even if you can't swim, you will swim. That's the kind of faith I'm talking about. The one where you depend on your own instincts to know that if I cannot swim, but I'm going to jump in that water and I'm not going to drown. And let me just take the time out to give thanks to, Billionaire Big Club for supporting the super chat. You know what I mean? It's always appreciated, so I'm thankful for that. All right? It's good to show, your appreciation, so give thanks. Wado. You feel me? But, family, I mean, I keep telling people, man, You know, we got to do better. We got to do better. And if you don't know, it's okay. It's okay not to know. But when you know, I implore you to do better. Make sure you do better. So I'm going to show you, okay, the biggest cash system that has always been here. I'm going to show you the biggest form of credit system that has always been here. We have had it all along, but we forgot about it because we forgot who we were. We forgot ourselves. We forgot the teachings of our ancestors because it was taken away from us. But I'm about to reintroduce you back to that, to let you know that all we need is us. That's it. All we need is us. Because we are the driving force of every civilization upon this earth. Everyone is coming here to live the American dream, but yet still the original American continuously is living a nightmare. And we refuse to see that because we spend so much time competing against each other because that's what's being promoted. Anytime you see a brother or a sister step up, you want to see how you could outdo them. You want to see how much you know more than them. I don't claim to be a scholar, but I know my ancestors and the Great Spirit and the I am in me gave me intelligence. And that's all I need, wisdom. I don't have to read a book. From now on, if I spend the rest of my natural physical life and I don't read any books, man, I would have been successful because I have come to the realization that everything is within me. And all I have to do is go into myself and take a look into nature. And we have all the answers. All the answers. So I'm going to share my screen with you and show you, okay, the biggest cashless system and the biggest credit system that we always had, and we forgot about it. Let us get into this. All right. I mean, I shared that on Facebook and a few other places, but this right here, okay? We forgot about this. We did. Okay? We forgot about this right here. We forgot about it. I hope you guys could see the screen, what I'm sharing right now. All right? All right, here we go. We forgot about what's called the barter system. Okay? The barter system. This is something that our ancestors had always done. This is a cashless system, but yet still, it is the biggest credit system. Don't you think that they took everything from us, brothers and sisters? Why is that we were the ones who created it? We always had it. But we allow a system to take that away from us, to enslave us with everything that's ours. We forgot about it. Okay? The time that I spent growing up in the islands, in the Caribbean, in the country, when my grandma, when she didn't have a pound of sugar, she would go to the neighbor. Okay, the closest neighbor to our house, I would say, was about, I would say about 0.7 miles. It was definitely about a good 5-minute walk. Okay, that was the closest neighbor in terms of proximity to where we lived in the country. And when my grandmother ran out of sugar, she would send me to the neighbor and ask for some sugar. And my grandmother would tell me to tell the neighbor on Friday or on the weekend, when she go into the city for shopping, she would give her back that pound of sugar. Or she would ask the neighbor what she don't have. And if my grandmother had it, my grandmother would give it to me to give it to our neighbor, and the neighbor would give us sugar. That's what we did. You see, my grandmother had credit because she always gave. She always gave willingly. So when she didn't have, people were able to either just give her or credit something to her. She wanted some butter. If we ran out of butter, I could go to the neighbor. Well, grandma said, send her some butter. The neighbor would take a piece of plastic, take a big spoon, and go into her big jar of butter. Okay, we used to have this yellow thick butter. All right, she would take a scoop of that, or 2 scoops, put it in a plastic, wrap it up, take that to my grandmother. That was her credit right there. And then when my grandmother go shopping, she'd get all her stuff, and then guess what? She would come, give that neighbor back the butter or give her something else. You see, we forgot how simple that was and how simple it is. So now we have each other scrambling here for fiat currency. Now, don't get me wrong. All right? I know it's needed right now because that's what they forced us with. That's what they put on us. Okay? It was forced on us. But we need to win our way slowly from this system and get back into what our ancestors practice, family. We have to get back into that system. We can do it. I know we can. We do it every single day. We just do it with the fiat currency because we think it's the fiat currency that's really keeping us alive. No, it's your energy. If you don't work, the fiat currency will not exist. You feel me? You really think it's your fiat currency that's buying you things? No, it is your energy. First, you have to put out your energy to get the fiat currency to go buy something. When the truth of the matter is, you could just use your energy to barter. It's that simple, man. Trust me, a lot of people may say, well, you know what? Oh, well, Chief, is easier said than done. Well, the truth of the matter is, it's actually easier done than said because we are doing it every single day. We just don't realize it. The biggest cashless system and the biggest credit system. Why can't we start on a small scale within our communities? Huh? We go, we talk to the neighbors. Neighbors, this is what we're going to do. We know times are hard. We know everybody's struggling. We're going to start implementing what's called the barter system. Whatever you don't have, I could try to provide for you. Whatever I don't have, you try to provide it for me. Okay? So one neighbor would go to the store and buy a lot of one thing. Another neighbor would go to the store and buy a lot of another thing. Another neighbor would go, and then you guys come together and you ration it off. So that one individual wouldn't have to spend so much money on everything. So instead of going to spend $400 on buying so many different things, you focus on a few items in bulk. Another neighbor focus on a few items in bulk. And then you come together and you do it in small groups. And here you go, neighbor. Here you go, my sister. Here you go, my brother. And then once or twice a month, you come together. You have a community center where you cook for everybody. Come on, man. We could do this. It's not hard. We choose not to do it because we constantly are competing against each other. That's our biggest downfall, is the competition, because everything we see on TV is a competition. Every season they got you competing. It's either basketball, baseball, hockey, NFL. It's something. There's always a season where they're gonna promote competition so that it could be, man, it could take over your subconscious mind. So you always have to compete with your brother or your sister. Even when they pull you into their court system, it's you versus somebody. It's always somebody versus somebody, man. Why are we always warring with each other? Why? Man, it is so simple. It is so simple. But like Lauryn Hill said, we rather make it hard. Hmm? We rather make it hard. Instead of taking your money to have cable TV paying $200-300 a month, you got the biggest screen TVs in your home, telling lie to your vision, brainwashing your children. Why don't we get more into community-based programs? Why don't we do that? Hmm? At what point are we going to take accountability for our own life? I could stop sharing the screen with that now. Okay? Exactly. Is that selfish attitude, man? Is that selfish attitude that we have towards each other? That's what is the problem. And you're absolutely right, Miko. If we do, you know what? Let me just highlight some of these comments because you guys are really you saying it all. I don't have to say it. I don't have to say it, but we're gonna take it from the top, okay? And we're gonna point out the comments. You feel me? Because you guys, you know it. You're actually saying it. But all we have to do now is implement it. Okay? That's all we have to do is implement the information. All right? Now, like I said, I'm going to get into some of these comments that you're making because you guys are definitely giving good suggestions. All right? So let's get into that real quick. Let me find some of these comments. All right. Yes, yeah. At first, man, yeah, for real. I mean, I really couldn't get in. They was really preventing me from getting in. But I have to turn the computer off and get back on again. So, but you know, that's neither here or there. We're gonna do what we are doing. You know what I mean? We're gonna continue this build, and we're gonna make it happen. All right. So we are going here. Okay. So we spoke about religion. All right, and you know, Zazie C said, all religion is division and confusion. I agree. You know what I mean? I agree. Depends on what it's being used for, but in the context of what religion is being used for, it's about confusion. All right. And Monique said, yes, religion is evil. Yes, religion can be evil, but religion don't have to be evil. Everything is about the intent. All right, it's about the intent. So I totally agree on that. All right. They stole my 3 daughters to pimp them out to well, again, you see, that's what I'm talking about. You see, because when we talk about family coming together and everybody's so divided, it's brothers and sisters such as yourself that I am concerned about when our babies are being taken from our homes. So why aren't we focusing on what, like I said, what we have in common? Okay? What we have in common. All right? Religion is the biggest division of mankind. That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right? You know, there we go. Always call it Turtle Island. That's what's up. That's what's up. Turtle Island. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Okay? Just giving everybody a little highlight. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Peace, Sister Jenkins. All right, just dropping some of that information. All right. We here, family, we here, no matter how we slice and dice. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. And he says in 2020, we're still acting like politics and change things in a war. All right. All right. So, like I said, just giving everybody a little highlight, but I want to go to the battering when we started talking about the battering. Let me see. Yep, cognitive dissonance is always kicking in. Absolutely, that's a fact. And once again, thank you to Billionaire Big Club, always supporting and showing love. That means a lot. Okay. Okay. There we go. So we're gonna start going into some of these comments that's related to the bartering system. That's what it's called, taking care of each other. We have forgotten how, okay, or the concept of taking care of each other. We have forgotten the concept of I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. We have forgotten that. Okay, we have forgotten that. And then we have to come back. We have to go back to it. We have to go back to it. All right. Now, Kyle said, what people use the same country system, they're at war with family. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Zazie said, the people living under the order of disillusion, and in this time, men will see their dreams and their aspirations crumble right in front of their eyes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Okay. Miko said, barter system equal replaces Arabs, corner stores, Asians, buffets, and beauty, nail supply, and dry cleaner, laundry. Man, listen, I couldn't have said it better, brother. Thank you for that. I'm just gonna let that sit there for a while because I want our people to see. You see, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. I want you to do the math yourself. So you're always asking for solutions. Well, here is the solution. Once we go back to the barter system, it replaces the Arab corner stores, the Asian buffets and beauty nail supply. My sisters, why don't you get together on the strong end, whatever you call the weekend, I'm going to call the strong continuation. Why don't you go to each other's homes and bond and do each other's nails? Why not? But no, you have to do all the extra, things you see on reality show TVs. And it's an illusion. It's an illusion. And I'm not saying you cannot have your beautiful nails, but do it amongst yourselves. Because I'm not going to try to take away anything from you that you feel you're accessorizing yourself. I'm not trying to take away your accessories, no, but do it amongst yourselves. Let your friend or your sister or a cousin or your auntie do your nails. If you don't know how to do it, put some money together, send somebody to school and get the nails done. And every Saturday or every Sunday, have people come over in the neighborhood, come get your nails done. Ain't nothing like word of mouth. But we got to stop complaining about people who are setting up shop in our communities and are getting filthy, filthy rich on your energy, on your currency, and you keep getting mad and keep complaining about it. Don't get mad. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. They just learned the game. They learned it from us. So I have to leave that comment up there for a little while because it really touched, everything I was talking about, the barter system. All right. City people not barter only down south. Well, you see, it doesn't mean we can't do it in the city as well. Everything is about changing. We can do it in the cities if we are in the cities. It is possible. But people just want to be estranged to each other. Okay? That's just what it is because that's what we are being taught. You have people living in the projects and they don't even know who live. They live in apartment 2B and they don't even know who live in 2C. That's how divided we have become. I'm going to repeat myself. We have people living in projects or in different areas where they have apartment buildings. And you have people living in 2B and they don't even know who's in 2C or 2D. Because we have become so divided and so selfish that we don't even want to know who's next to us because we are competing. Oh, we got a bigger TV than them next door. Oh, we got more cable channels. That is the thing that they have our people focusing on. But everybody want to talk about what it used to be called. I don't care what it used to be called. Everybody want to talk, oh, well, we're the descendants of Ham. We're the descendants of Shem. We're the descendants of Japheth. I don't care about that. I'm ascending right now. I am ascending right now. Why we focus on descending? Let us focus on what we got to do. We have to create our own reality. We are in a different age. Our ancestors were in a different age. And they did what they had to do. They created their legacy. Now it's our time. What are we going to leave for our children? Or are we going to continue to live the stories of what we heard? What are we going to set in stone for them? What are we going to leave on paper for them? What oral traditions are we going to give them so that they could pass it on to their children? Are they going to continue to hear, well, this was the first Egypt. Well, this was the last Kemet. Well, come on, man. But every day a 13-year-old is getting arrested because he's walking down the street. Every day a 13-year-old little girl is getting pregnant, or 14 getting pregnant sometimes by grown men because there are no fathers in the home playing a part. Or you have mothers who are not allowing fathers to be fathers. Come on. Like, at what point are we going to say, well, we need some type of spiritual healing? Where is the community? Where is the village? There should be no such thing as a single mother. That didn't exist in our culture. And any woman who's out there promoting being a single mother, man, that's an abomination, because that's not part of our culture and our tradition. Granted, you may be in the situation, but it's nothing to celebrate. Now, I give you kudos and I give you praise and honor for doing what you have to do because you didn't have a choice. But let's not celebrate the concept of being a single mother, because we are passing on that to our young daughters, all right? We are perpetuating that kind of behavior. It doesn't become who we are as a people. Where is the community? Where is the village? It takes a village to raise a child. Like I said, maybe it's just me, all right? Billionaire Big Club said, yes, we can. I know we can. Because if I didn't know, not just believe, if I didn't know that we can, I wouldn't be giving you so much of my energy. You see, I know there's hope. I know that we can do what we have to do for us. I know that. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to do this until my last physical breath in this body. Because I know it's going to catch on to somebody. And somebody's going to reach out and say, Chief, you know what? Yes, we can do this. Let's do this. So I'm going to continue to plant those seeds. All right? And it's one thing for people to listen, but it's a beautiful thing to be heard. All right? Indeed, I thank you for that. Shadows TV, thank you for that. All right? Yes, one hand wash the other. That's right. You definitely, it takes two hands to wash each other, right? It takes two hands to clap. You feel me? Okay? And I'm going to say our children, all right? Our children, they made our children war with me. Well, I know you're telling your personal story, family, and I totally feel you, all right? But you see, here's the thing. If we had communities, a lot of those things that are transpiring, it wouldn't take place. You see the importance of family. You see the importance of community. Because when it's Jewish children, they cannot do that to Jewish children. They can't do that to them because they have community. They cannot do that to Arab children. They cannot do that to Chinese children. It's only our children. Because we are lacking the concept of community and village. All right. And we have children. We don't have kids. Goats got kids. All right. Kaneda said, you know what? I have asked the same question, and every time that I have asked, all I've gotten is a blank face stare and silence every single time. Well, a lot of the information that we are given, a lot of our people have forgotten that. All right. They are brainwashed by this illusion. So we have to be patient with them. But how do we make that impact? We make that impact by doing. You see, our people don't do what we say, they do what we do. They have to see it working. All right. They have to see it being successful. So a few of us have to be the example to show them that this can work. And that's how we're going to make that change, by example. All right. Absolutely. Absolutely. There we go. Okay. There we go. We just got to put it in action. I totally agree. I totally agree. All right. Absolutely. There we go. We it starts with us. Everything starts within. And let us not allow, people to take that away from us. All right. I'm just saying, we can do this. You feel me? We can do this. All we have to do is start working with each other, man. Let us not pay attention to the illusion that we cannot work with each other. Let us forget that. All right? It sickens me to see this corporate colonized system destroy our trees and water just to maintain their way of life. But you see, once we come back as a unit, then we could prevent those things from happening. People don't realize that the power is in the people, not in the system, because the people created the system. It's that simple. All right? The goddesses have to stop thinking we are better than each other and work together. I totally agree. It's too much competition. All right. Competing with your sister like you are better is insanity, because the adversary sees each of us as the same, no matter how much you have or don't. I totally agree with you. I agree 110%. Too many of our sisters are competing against each other. Oh, well, when it comes to women, I cannot deal with women. I don't like their energy. I mean, come on. You know what? We got to teach each other, man. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everybody's going to come together and sing Kumbaya, but for crying out loud, I know we could find a few sisters that could come together and work together, man. Because y'all come together and gossip anyway. You know what I mean? Y'all just come together for the reasons that's not uplifting our people. But when it comes to coming together to talk about power, oh, y'all could do that all day. There's no competition there. When it comes to talking about the real wives of California or Atlanta, ooh, y'all could come together then. When it comes time to, girl, let's put him on child support, y'all come together and have group meetings. Come on. So don't tell me y'all cannot get along. Y'all choose not to get along for things that's for the betterment of our people. And I'm not saying all of you, so please do not misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying all sisters are to be put in that category, but there's more than enough where it becomes a problem. You feel me? So don't tell me you can't get along, because y'all get along when it comes to gossiping and spreading propaganda. Peace to appreciate that, family. Appreciate that. All right. Absolutely. Everything starts with the mind. All right. Everything starts with the mind. It's about renewing the mind. Once you change your mind, you change your reality. It's that simple. And once you have found the truth, you cannot go back. You will not want to go back. Okay? Because just how bad habits and lies are addictive, the truth is also addictive. Okay? Once you have been rehabilitated from the lies and step into the truth, trust me, it's hard to fall back. It's hard to relapse because the truth is something mighty, man. You feel me? Alrighty then. Sister asked, what are we doing to create now? Well, this is what this build is all about. Okay? Bringing the awareness to our people, because a lot of our people don't know that there are more than just them in the community that have the same idea, that have the same mindset. I get emails and inboxes every single day. I'm talking about, and let me first apologize to anyone if I haven't returned your inbox or your email, but trust me, I get a lot of them for all type of questions. But mostly people always tell me, well, Chief, I'm the only one that's in my family or in my community, and I feel alone and I feel isolated. So that's why I do these bills a lot of times. Another reason is to let people know that you are not alone. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of us that are thinking the same thing, but we are not just connected. You feel me? So for those of you that's in different parts of the country or different parts of Turtle Island, drop in the chat where you at. You know, whether it may be NC, you know, whether it may be North Carolina, South Carolina, California, Georgia, Atlanta, it doesn't matter. Let people know where you're at and link up for building purposes. Okay? Too many people have linked up just to turn up. Too many people have linked up just to have one-night stands. Too many people have linked up just to have fun. Well, I'm asking you now to link up to build our people. That should be the focus. So that's a great question. And yes, things are working on. We are working on certain things and we're going to bring it to the people. All right? We are going to bring it to the people. And we can honestly learn from each other what we don't know much of or about from each other. Absolutely, I agree. I totally agree. It's each one teach one. And it doesn't matter what information people bring to you. Always do your research. Even when I give you information, please do your research. Don't just jump into, oh, well, Chief know it all. No, I don't know it all. But anything that I know or I come across, I am willing to share it with you. And I say together, we will find the solutions. Together, we will solve the puzzle. You did. And only the truth will set us free. It's that simple. Okay? Let's do this. Hey, I'm totally for it. Like you know, my email, my information is always out there. Send me an email. All right? Brothers and sisters, the world is changing. The world is changing. And the universe is pushing the oneness. I keep telling y'all, let us stop focusing on what people look like. Deal with people based on the intent of their heart. Okay? Let he without sin cast the first stone. You are gonna, let me tell y'all something, man. The heaven and earth is gonna be created, whether you like it or not. So don't miss the experience. Don't miss the journey. Don't miss it. Because the heaven and earth is going to happen. And you will be surprised to see that when the heaven and earth is created, you will see a multitude of ethnicities living in harmony, in peace and love. Things are changing. A lot of us are just too blind to see it. But it's happening. It's happening. I guarantee you that. Okay? Zazie said, we need a political platform of our own. Absolutely. Right here, this is our platform. This is our political platform until we could take it to their arena. You are absolutely correct. And we are definitely on the way in setting that up, because All these legislations that are being passed that's affecting our lives, we don't have a say. And it's time that we have a say. So I totally agree with you. We have to have a say. Someone, some people, somebody, many bodies have to be in place to speak on behalf of us original indigenous people. So I totally agree with that. All right. They exactly, we got to stop calling our children goats, man. We don't have kids, we have children. All right. So, you know what I mean? Okay. She's right. We all on the same team. Yes. A lot of us are actually on the same team. Yes. And a lot of us appear to be on the same team sometimes, but they are not. All right. So once again, we have to look at people, not just from the flesh, but look at people from their energy. Read their energy. All right. I agree, man. First 7 years program, right? We have to create again. We have to create schools and institutions so we can start teaching our children because they are the ones. It's never too young for our children to learn that they are not black, that they are not African American, that their story didn't begin with slave ships. It's imperative that they learn that from the womb. Let them know that they are gods. All right? Got to teach them that. Okay? Turn them televisions off. I totally agree. I totally agree. All right? All right. Brother here is dropping his information. All right. Miami, Florida. So anybody who's in Miami, Florida, and you want to link up with brothers and sisters that's on the same page, a few people are dropping their information where they're at. You dig? So, like I said, man, we could do this. Okay. Here goes, Aboriginal American Deities, Florida as well. Lehigh Acres in Florida. So, why we can't complain about we cannot link. All right. So at the end of the day, that's just what it is. You feel me? He says, bro, Chief, you know it all from A to B to A. Birth record for one is the only one that exists and sees since birth. I mean, absolutely right, family. I know exactly what you're saying, and I've said that before. I know it all. We know it all. We're just not aware of it all. You see what I'm saying? So thank you for definitely putting that out there. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Okay. And then we have Miko. Miko is in Houston. All right. No, in Florida, West Palm Beach. All right. So I think that's where he's at, either in Houston or Florida. But he's putting his information up there as well. All right. You have oh man, I keep telling y'all, man, these I'm back. For some reason, I just got caught up again. But anyway, Billionaire Bit Club is in Tampa, Florida. All right. So people are dropping their information so you could see where they're at and link up with them. All right. We have, I hope I put not. Well, I'm gonna say our sister Jenkins is in Louisiana. Okay. Um, then we have side note. It only takes ears to hear, but it takes ears and attention to listen. All right. I totally get it, brother. I totally get what you're saying. Indeed, indeed, indeed. All right. Can you guys hear me now? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Because I know it kind of cut me off a little bit. Let me see. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, the sound is good now. I just got cut off, so I have to come back on. But anyway, I'm going to conclude this build. I just wanted to come share that information of once again promoting oneness. All right. Let us stop focusing on what divides us. All right. Let us stop focusing on what divides us. Let us focus on what unites us. All right. We're going to have a choice to continue to either compete against each other or be part of the same team. Okay. We have a choice. Every single day we wake up, we have a decision to make. It's either we're going to, and I told the story of the two wolves, and we could take that story and apply that to any situation. The story of the two wolves. We each and every one of us have two wolves within us. One has to win because they are always at odds with each other. All right? It doesn't mean that they have to be, but that's just the nature of the beast. And they're always at odds with each other. And you may ask yourself, which one is going to win? And my answer to you is this: it's the one you feed the most. So who do you think is winning, brothers and sisters? When you go to the Chinese restaurant and you feed them, who do you think is winning? When you go to the Arab store, who do you think is winning? When you go to the Korean store and you feed them, who do you think is winning? When you go to all these different stores and feed them, who do you think is winning? It's the one you feed the most that's going to win. But if we come together and we start feeding each other, we will win. I know there are problems. I know there are obstacles, but I am giving you solutions because I am tired of focusing on the problems. So go to your neighbor, break bread. Go to your neighbor, make peace. It doesn't matter what y'all beef you had in the past. Brothers and sisters, we have to learn to forgive each other. We have to learn to forgive each other, man. We forgive everybody else. We even forgive people who shoot our children down in the streets like animals. I'm going to repeat that. We forgive people and we turn the other cheek towards people that kill our children like animals in the streets. But you refuse to forgive a brother or a sister because a relationship didn't work out. Because, you asked them for a favor and they couldn't do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it amazes me. And it also baffles me at the same time that the animosity we're so quick to develop and harbor for each other, but we're so quick to forgive everybody else. You feel me? Oh, yes, you have to have a heart for this kind of life. It's bigger than, absolutely, it's bigger, it's more than just color. And I tell people that every single day. I don't play the color game. I don't do that. And that's absolutely right. Max B said, he's putting, bro, I am putting that in my next song. By all means, brother, you have my permission to, to use. And like I said, anything that's there that I could offer to our people as a building tool or to enlighten our people, by all means, man, by all means. You feel me? But just know that we are the only ones who could change our circumstances. Nobody is going to do it for us. We are spending too much time looking for handouts from other people, when the truth of the matter is we got our hands in. Let's keep it in ourselves, towards ourselves. Let's turn ourselves in and start looking at each other and start doing for each other. All right? And start building with each other. That's where it's at. So wherever you at, just know that you're not alone. You have more people than you think. Because you see, we are so focused on the physical. We could tap into that mental realm and feel the connection of others who are vibrating on that same frequency. Oh, trust me, I have felt it. And that's why a lot of times I am doing work and all of a sudden I stop, I meditate for a minute and I rush come to a video because I hear the people calling. I hear that mental call. I hear the minds are out there and they're looking for that synergy. And I come to a video. So we are connected. A lot of us are just not aware that we are connected. All right. So with that being said, my email, my information is always in the link. It is time we start feeding our own wolves. Okay. It's time we start feeding our own people so that we could start winning. Let us not focus on Hollywood or Hollywood. Okay. Some of these people are gone. They're already gone. It is up to us, the ones they call the common folk. It is up to us to change our reality. So with that being said, thanks again for being a part of this build. I do wish you guys a beautiful continuation. I am working diligently. Trust me, I am working diligently on our behalf to bring some things for us. For us. There is no I in team. It's about we. It's about us. All right. I'm going to get on a very important call this evening. And based on how everything go, if I find it to be legit, okay, then I will bring that to you. All right. But we are working on a few things. And just to answer, the question the sister had, well, what are we doing now? That's what we are doing. We are definitely setting foundations up. All right. Any man or woman who builds his or her house on sand, that's not a strong house. So we want to make sure that we build it on a very strong foundation. So when we step forward, we are solid. Okay? So it's always an honor to be in the mix of my peers, my brothers and my sisters, vibing on the same frequency. That's what I call my family. So I will talk to you guys soon. Peace, love, harmony, and light.